The season opener, how you feeling about the club?
You never same. You're always nervous. You're hopefully that you're ready to go. We're playing a really good football team, and that we know that they'll be ready. Our guys are working hard. We're continuing to polish things up, continue to try to make sure we know what we're doing, and felt okay today, but I never feel great. You just keep going.
Let's talk a little bit about Fordham. They've got, I think offensively, they're probably going to be pretty good. They put up good numbers last year. They have a very good quarterback coming back in Kevin Anderson, very good running back in Chase Edmonds. Can you kind of talk about what you've seen on film of Fordham?
They're a really good football team. You don't win that many games, in the last 4 or 5 years that they've done. Been to 3 straight FCF playoffs. They've beaten 2 FBS schools in the last, we'll be the 3rd team that they're playing. And so, this is a good football team. Chase Edmonds is as good a back as there is in the country. Kevin Anderson, I think, is a really good quarterback. He's athletic, he can move. He's got every ball, great accuracy. You can tell he's a headsy quarterback. They got a big tight end.
6'8" kid, yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean? That can block and catch, puts you in some different binds. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us. This is a tough game, you know what I mean? It's not the game we wanted to play, open up. This is a really good football team.
Well, I was talking to the Fordham coach today, and he said the fact that his team has beaten Army does give them some confidence. They know Army plays Navy. He can tell his kids, you've done this before against the Service Academy. As much respect as he has for you all.
No doubt. I mean, he's definitely got to have confidence, you know what I mean? And they got a good program, won a ton of games. Why wouldn't they be confident? It's not like we're Alabama or anything. We're the Naval Academy. So, we recognize that we are, we're always a team that, everybody puts on their deal that, this is a W, so, but it is what it is.
In the opener, is it a case to where you'll put up with some mistakes here and there because it's the opener, provided you see a team that plays hard? Is that what you won't tolerate in the opener, is loafing?
I don't know if you go into the game that will tolerate anything. You're always trying to be as good as you can be. You're always trying to make sure that you're sharp in every facet. And so obviously you won't tolerate not playing hard, but we want to do everything right. We don't want to, okay, this is our first game, it's okay to be sloppy. None of that's acceptable.
Putting a rookie kicker out there in the opener, any concerns, or do you feel Bennett Mooring is ready to go?
From everything we've seen, he's done well. He's kicked well. He's a really highly recruited, kicker coming out of high school, and everything he's done in camp, just, reinforces all of his credentials coming out of high school. And, we're excited about him, and he's worked really, really hard.
To talk to you because I was waiting for the dust to settle and see where we are. I know that Sean missed some time, and that muddled the picture a little bit, but it looks like Chris High has maintained the #1 fullback role.
Yeah, so far he has. He did a great job in camp. He's come a long way in a short period of time, mentally in the classroom, getting himself up to speed with what we're trying to do on offense, and watching his development through spring ball, fall camp. Now we're at game week. The kid's ready to go.
I remember seeing Chris High 2 falls ago and seeing him break some nice runs and thinking that's a good-looking kid. What has Chris had to work on in order to get to the level he is now? Was it his blocking? Was it his vision in the hole? What was it that Chris needed to improve upon?
It was his overall knowledge of the offense. As a freshman and a sophomore, he's swimming in there just trying to keep up and go the right direction. And now he's starting to learn and understand the details and understand where he fits within the scheme and understand where guys are supposed to be coming from so he can anticipate cuts and things like that. Physically it's never been an issue. The kid's always had a great motor. He's always worked his butt off. So it's never been a physical issue with Chris. It's always been more of a mental. And he's got himself caught up to speed now.
And what do you like about Chris High? He's a good-looking kid. He's thickly built. He looks like he's got some decent acceleration. Kind of tell us some of the attributes that fans will see on Saturday when they see him running.
Well, hopefully we get him in some space and he can showcase some of his other talents. But he's a high motor kid. He's going to play 100 miles an hour, which is what we're looking to do. He is a little bit quicker. He's a quicker guy. He's got a little bit more long speed than guys like Ezel and Sean White and things like that. Hopefully if we can get him into some space, he'll be able to finish some runs, kind of like Noah and Chris Swain did. So those are the things that we like about him. I think his effort level is outstanding. If if everybody on the field played with as hard as he did every snap, would be a really good offense.
So it was unfortunate for Sean White that he got nicked up early in camp, had to sit for a couple of weeks, lost some valuable time. When he came back, I'm guessing he wasn't quite at the level that he had expected, because he would have gone right back to being number one.
Right. Well, I think everything's got to get earned. And when he came back, Chris had earned the opportunity to take the 1 reps while Sean was out, and he hasn't done anything to give it up. And Sean, to be honest, hasn't done anything to earn it back. And so because of that, Chris is going to be our guy heading into week 1.
And where does Miles Swain fit into this picture?
Yeah, right now Miles took advantage of the opportunity he had when Sean got hurt. He did the same thing. He's continued to develop, and he's playing at a really high level. Encouraged by where he's at. I mean, I know he's kind of gotten out of the shadow finally, and he's kind of come into his own, and he's playing really, really good football right now. So, you're going to see him playing as well.
So I'm guessing that you feel like you have 3 fullbacks that you can trust, that you would put into the game at any time.
I do. Yeah, I think we got 3 guys that we can all trust and can get the job done for us.
Fullback situation. Sean White came out of spring camp number 1. He got nicked up early, and they've asked you to step up. Kind of, what was your approach when Sean went down?
My approach, the approach of our team is pretty much like to have the back of your brother. Mm-hmm. And like when Sean went down, I just thought that that is just my time to step up, and take on half of the load and do my part.
Obviously you're lower on the depth chart because of some outstanding fullbacks ahead of you, but it also meant that you had to work on something. Coming off of last fall, what did you feel you needed to improve in order to get to the point where you could play?
I would definitely say confidence. Yeah, confidence, and just being confident in my plays, and actually knowing what I know what to do.
Right. Now, so Sean, after a couple of weeks off, he's back in the lineup, but you've been able to hold on to that starting spot. Kind of talk about that. I mean, it's competitive in that fullback room, and it means a lot to be able to emerge from camp as the number 1.
Yes, sir. Well, for us, it's definitely a play here and a play there. But for the most part, I definitely say it's a teamwork. We're going to go into it as a core, and emerge victorious. Mm-hmm. I would say, yeah. But for the most part, it's definitely a team situation.